see the comments come in. We have a few people watching. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, April 7th? April 7th. I had to think about it. Days have run together. I'm Paige Brown. I'm the mayor of the city of Gallatin. Just want to take a few minutes this afternoon, update you, and let you know a little bit of what I know and give you a short time at least to ask some questions if you have any, and we'll try to answer them for you. I do want to share with you that I feel like right now we've kind of got a little good news to go with all of the bad news that we've had. And the good news is that earlier modeling is looking, later modeling on the progression of the infection in Tennessee is looking better than it was when it was early modeling. Remember those early projections that we were going to see a few thousand deaths? And those projections have changed, and of course they could change again. Governor Lee didn't speak in specific numbers today when he did his update, but he did make the point that data could change daily, and so we are optimistic that those projections may be better, and we are also cautiously optimistic, I think, throughout the country and in our own area, that we may be beginning to flatten the curve. But I don't want that to give you a false sense of security, because it really means that we need to be more diligent than we have been. Because if we're starting to flatten out that curve, we can really make an impact now. If we stop the spread, slow the spread. I know it's getting tedious for people to be at home or not be able to do the things that they want to do, but this is clear evidence that the social distancing is working. And so let's really stick to it. Let's stick to it for, the president has his slow the spread for through April 30th, and I think the governor's order goes at least for another week, but I suspect that will be extended until we are certain that we are at the end of this crisis. The City of Gallatin's state of emergency does continue, and Sumner County Mayor Holt's order does continue as well. I think his was actually extended yesterday. Ours gets extended today, and so those will be both extended for another week. But I appreciate all that everyone is doing. I appreciate the challenge that it is for so many, because I know it is. It's really hard for the people that can't see the people they want to see or do the things they want to do, and it's really hard for the people who are at home and can't see the people they love and don't have anyone there with them. Everybody has some challenge associated with this, and some people's is certainly worse than others. And like no time ever before, it's time to extend grace and show kindness and find creative ways to let people know that you love and you care about them. So I mentioned that there was good news among the bad news. The bad news here for us in Sumner County is that our infection rate is currently at 364 today. Sumner Regional Medical Center is reporting 15 deaths. 10 of those are patients from the Gallatin Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. And I feel like, that in spite of what's going on in our community and in our county and in our state and in our world, that is the tragedy that we in Gallatin are in the middle of. And it's such a sad situation, and it's truly heartbreaking for so many of us who may or may not have known people there. But to think that 10 of those patients from that center have died, and I think Sumner Regional still said they had 76 inpatients from that facility. So I'd ask, keep them and their families in your thoughts and prayers. Keep to the healthcare workers everywhere, but certainly the healthcare workers at that facility, because this has to be a trying time for anyone associated, and I know that they would appreciate and feel your prayers. I also want to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out to our healthcare workers at our Sumner Regional Medical Center. My goodness, the caseload that they have had ever since this began here in Sumner County. They have so many patients that they are treating with this illness, and they are working so hard in such long hours and in such difficult circumstances that I just want to say that we recognize what a great job they're doing, and I know that some great efforts have been made over the last week to show appreciation. There's been a lot of food taken over there to feed them. There was the prayer parade that happened. I know people are sending cards and notes and meals, and they appreciate it, and we've got to keep doing it, though, because talk about getting hard and tedious. It really is for them. So remember those folks. Give a shout out to them. Also to our first responders, our emergency medical technicians, our paramedics, all the folks that are face-to-face with folks in the field that need help. Hard time for them too. Their patients, their families and their friends, and they would certainly appreciate your prayers as well. I want to remind you that the Sumner County Schools Grab and Go Meal schedule is now on a Friday-Tuesday rotation. On Fridays, you get 4 days worth of meals. On Tuesdays, 3 days worth of meals. The child does have to be with you when you are picking up those meals, but it's happening several places throughout Sumner County, and you can find that information on their website or on the Sumner County Schools Facebook page. That'd be a good thing. City Council today, City of Gallatin, as you know, is working hard to keep our business rolling, and we are having our first City Council meeting done virtually this evening, and we would invite you certainly to view it, and if you'd like to participate, I can tell you how to do that. Go to the Gallatin City website, which is gallatintn.gov. At the top of the page, you'll find the link and the instructions to participate. Now, when I say to participate, that would be if you wanted to make a public comment or participate in a public hearing. The agenda this evening is actually very short. The only item that we have is an approval of an audit contract for our finance department. So it's a real short agenda. So for us, it's really as much as a test of technology as it is a meeting to get business accomplished. I will share some comments, probably much like what I'm sharing right now, and I'm sure there'll be some other questions about the current situation of our city from the council, potentially under other business. If you don't know this, at every city council meeting that we have 2 opportunities for public comment. The first part of the meeting, we allow public comment on agenda-related items, and at the end of the meeting, we allow public comment on items not on the agenda. So if you have public comment that you'd like to share with our city council, tonight you can do it, and you don't even have to leave your home. Just go to that link on our website. Again, that's gallatintn.gov. You'll also be able to watch it live streaming on Facebook, on the Gallatin City Government page, and also on on Comcast Cable Channel 19. If you have Comcast, you can watch it on that public access channel, and that'll give you a good opportunity to watch that. I see lots of questions coming in. They do. Jeff has been monitoring questions, so he may do better letting me know what the questions are, because I'm saying it looks like conversation back and forth.
I see more statements than anything.
Okay.
There is some frustration. Someone mentioned the D rating that Sumner County and the state made.
Absolutely.
So I think there's still some frustration with the stay-at-home orders and people not necessarily following those.
Certainly. Well, I can speak to that. Certainly there is frustration. I think Sumner County right now, I'm aware of 18 deaths in Sumner County. 15 of those are from Sumner Regional. 3 were from Hendersonville Medical Center, and I think there may be some others, but we don't have new numbers. The state today is reporting that Sumner County has 15. So day to day, the state of Tennessee tends to be a little bit behind what we have here locally. On days that you're not hearing from me or you're not seeing stuff on our local government reports, you can get those numbers. Tennessee.gov, right at the top of their page, they have a coronavirus update, and you can go there, and if you expand it out by county, it will show you the county counts. Also understand from Commissioner Piercy with the state of Tennessee that in the near future they're going to be breaking that out into some demographics so that we can actually see some of the data related to the deaths, which I think will be helpful. I was going to speak about the stay-at-home, don't we? I'm not forgetting that. I'm just going all over the place. The stay-at-home orders, as you know from Governor Lee, Executive Order 23 was a stay-at-home order versus essentially a stay-at-home suggestion. Well, 23 was the change from an urge to a mandate or a suggestion to a mandate. But in 22, which was what it applied to, were all the lists of essential businesses and essential activities. And so for every one call I've gotten about one business or one activity or one errand that somebody's running, I've gotten 100 of them. In some cases more than that. Certainly our police department has gotten them as well, and I'm sure that the governor's office has, and the county offices too. But the only thing that is actually in that order that would not be allowed would be large, or not the only thing, but for us, for enforcement purposes, the things that we could enforce would be things like large gatherings, where distancing isn't happening, businesses being open that are explicitly mandated to close. You know what some of those are. Can't have any kind of on-site dining. Cannot have salons like hair salons, nail salons, tanning salons, tattoo businesses. All of those things are mandated closed. So most everything else is going to be found under an essential activity or an essential business. A lot of the essential businesses that aren't articulated in that order 23, in that order 22, they're actually articulated under the Cyber Infrastructure and Security Administration. That's CISA.gov. If you want to go look at that, and you can see the definition of all the businesses that are considered essential. And many people, as I well know, have many opinions about what they think should be essential and what is not essential. We in the city of Gallatin do not make that determination, nor do we have the authority to. The state is making the decisions, and they have given us authority to enforce them, but again, that enforcement is really limited. And I know what some of you are looking at. You're looking at, why are people buying this, or why are they buying that, and it would be impossible for us to go and police what item someone is purchasing and determine whether or not they are essential for that facility. One thing I've heard a lot about is garden centers, or garden centers as a part of a store. Realize that fruits and vegetables and food that can be plants that could be edible are considered essential, and so certainly those kind of purchases are considered essential. Whether or not some of the others are, we could all debate that, and I'd probably be in agreement with most of you, but it's really not realistic nor fruitful for us to enforce that. I think that now is the time to encourage everyone to be smart, to be safe, to set a good example, not to try and shame each other into following these orders, but to try and champion the ones who are doing such a great job. And I've seen some cute ways of doing that. I've seen some fun ways of doing that. I've seen some really sweet things where people have been talking about, you know, their folks that haven't left their home in 3 weeks, and things they're doing to, you know, just let them know they're loved. And so let's be the community that we can be, in spite of the, you know, horrific circumstances that we are in right now, because really it is. I mean, I think we're the worst in the state of Tennessee when you talk about the number of deaths and how many people in our community actually have the COVID infection. That's a lot of people hurting here, and that means that there's no time like now to spread some kindness and some hope for the future, because people really need that. Very long answer, Jeff. I apologize. More questions? Anything else I can answer?
I don't think so. I had a call earlier about someone who was concerned about city government and how we fit into essential and non-essential. Mm-hmm. How are things going with police and fire and those kind of departments? Yeah,
well, we are essential, and certainly you understand, I'm sure, why police and fire are essential, but you may not wonder why me or the person on the other side of the camera or some of the other offices with the city are essential. But we're deemed essential as government, and we do think it's very important to keep our city running. We obviously want to keep picking up trash. We'd like to keep doing what we're doing to get road repairs done, to keep things looking as nice as we possibly can, and certainly to keep as many of our employees working and paid as we possibly can. We have made efforts throughout all of our buildings. Well, several weeks ago now, we closed all the buildings to the public, but there's information on all the buildings on how to conduct business if you need to do that. It's also on our website. But we also took measures within each of our buildings to give people more room to socially distance. We don't have, I don't think, any employees that are working inside within 6 feet of each other. We've certainly been able to spread out and accommodate people. We do have some people working from home. We do have some people who have chosen to take off on leave. And then we have a lot of people working. And so we're doing that. We think it will help our community in the long run. Right now I've been working today on a budget which starting out, it's not looking good. It's like $9 million out of balance. So I'm not real thrilled about where I'm going to get to on that, but we will. You know, we're doing what we're doing to keep the city running and to poise us for a stellar rebound once this crisis is over.
That's it.
That's all the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Folks of Gallatin, y'all are awesome. I really do believe that we're a tough city. We're a good city. There's so many people with a lot of heart here, and I see it and hear about it every single day. And I know that you're always going to hear about that jerk, because there's always going to be one. But focus on the good. Just focus on the good that's out there. Champion the people that are doing the right things. They're making a difference, that are being the people that we want to be more like. And that's going to help our community be better in the future. Certainly, I want to say thanks. A lot of you have reached out to me with kind words of support and encouragement. I appreciate that. Keep sharing those kinds of messages, particularly with those who are on the front lines in this. A little word of encouragement, a smiley face, a drop-off of a bag of cookies or a meal or something really could make a difference in somebody's entire week, especially during these hard times. So keep doing what you're doing. Those of you who are doing the right thing, I really appreciate that. I love you all. And I ask you to stick with us, because we are going to get to the other side, and we are going to be better and stronger when we get there. You all take care. We may see you tonight at the City Council meeting. If not, we'll see you again soon. Take care.